So I don't know if I have a proper introduction to this video, but what's going on, everybody? My name is Yudi Uchiha, and you see the title of the video. I'm here to talk about what's wrong with Naruto Storm Connection. Now, I just want to start off by saying that I am a Naruto Storm Connections enjoyer. I think the game's a lot of fun, despite the issues in which we're going to talk about in this video, but I think the game's a lot of fun, and I still do plan on making content for the game in general. But if you guys may or may not have noticed, I haven't uploaded Naruto Storm Connections content in quite some time, and on the Twitch channel, I haven't streamed the game in 3 weeks. So I'm here to talk about why that has been the case. And honestly, I should have made this video a long time ago, but I was kind of slacking, so my bad on that. But yeah, I wanted to talk about some of the issues that's been going on in this game, some obvious and some that some people might not shed too much light on, but I want to shed light on anyways, because I think people acknowledge this. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because it's just something that's been bothering me and been keeping me from playing the game, even though, you know, again, I think I find the game really fun and I really enjoy it, but these issues are enough to kind of hold me back from wanting to get on the game. But yeah, so we're going to start off with the most obvious issue: private/custom lobbies. Now, private/custom lobbies has just been a normal thing for multiplayer games in general, but especially in the Naruto Storm games, where we've had private lobbies on launch for as long as I can remember. And yet here we are with Storm Connections being nearly 2 months old, and we still don't even have rooms whatsoever. And I just don't understand why that's the case, because a lot of the reason people buy these games is to play with their friends, myself included, for a little while. Like, obviously I have enough enjoyment in these games myself to where I will play them regardless. But yeah, I want to play with friends. I want to play with homies. I want to play with my viewers as well. I've been wanting to do viewer lobbies on the Twitch channel for a long time, and I would have posted them here as well on YouTube, and, you know, have you guys join up on me and play a bunch of you guys as well. And I'm sure plenty of other creators would have done the same thing as well, but for some reason they just decided they weren't going to launch this with private lobbies. So with private lobbies not being in the game right away, it turned a lot of people off from the game, and understandably so. I couldn't blame anybody that didn't want to get the game because they found out private lobbies wasn't a thing. And honestly, personally, anytime somebody would ask me if the game is worth it, I would be like, I'm not really too sure I can recommend this game right now, because there are a ton of issues present, and one being that there aren't any custom lobbies, because I'm sure that a lot of people want to just play with their friends. But yeah, I think that that's this game's biggest issue without a doubt. I think that if they're going to continue with not having any lobbies whatsoever for as long as they want to, because we know that it is coming at some point, we just don't know when, which is going to get into my next point, then I don't know, man. It's going to keep a lot of people from wanting to even play the game or buy the game. Now, going into my next point, I'm going to be transitioning into another point right after this one, but the next point I wanted to bring up was pretty much kind of communication. And what I mean by that is that, yeah, we've had the game out for nearly 2 months at this point, and we haven't heard word of when this DLC is launching, let alone when we're getting this custom lobbies update whatsoever. The game came out and we have received no word, no updates whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying that we got to get updates like right away or anything like that, right? Sometimes we got to just breathe. We got to like not hear anything and just enjoy the game, right? But when there's very clear present issues that launched or that were even present before the game even launched, which is custom lobbies, obviously some more issues came afterwards. But yeah, with that, I was just like, bro, what's really going on here? But now we haven't heard word of, yeah, this season pass, you can buy a season pass, or if you pre-ordered a specific edition, you already have the season pass or whatever. We don't even know when DLC is launching for this game, for real. 2 months in nearly, and we have no word of when the first DLC is launching, and we have no idea when this private lobbies/custom lobbies is on its way. Even though they did say, yes, it's coming, it's like, yeah, but when? And with the game launching in the state that it did, and a bunch of people not really fans of how it launched, to not have any word whatsoever is pretty crazy. Like, I think constant updates and trying to communicate too much can obviously be very unhealthy. I understand that perspective 100%, and I agree with that. We don't have to hear everything 24/7 or hear something constant, but at the very least, when something launches with very clear issues, you at least want to address it for the most part. But that's just my opinion. Now, this next point I wanted to get to, which this is more so just my take and my opinion on it. I know some people are going to have some differing opinions. I know you guys in the comment section down below will have differing opinions, and you can let me know, but this is just from my personal experience. I think that armored jutsu/invincible jutsu's gotta go, bro. Like I said, I think Naruto Storm Connections is a very fun game in terms of gameplay. I like the faster pace that this game has as opposed to Storm 4, but I gotta say, invincible jutsus are literally ridiculous. Now, do I use them? Yes, of course. The game is presenting me with these options, but do I enjoy them all the time? No, I don't. I know a ton of people that literally play around the fact that jutsus are invincible, and there are ways to punish it, yes, but it's very annoying to deal with, and it shouldn't be like that whatsoever, that somebody can play back with a Rasengan or play back with a Chidori or something like that, or any other invincible jutsus. It's just like, that stuff encourages very annoying gameplay in my opinion, and something that I'm not a fan of, and I know a ton of people aren't fans of either. But again, you guys can feel free to let me know if you disagree. I think the game would be even more fun than it already is if invincible jutsus and armor jutsus had a slight tone down. You know what I'm saying? I don't want things to get destroyed or anything like that, because I think having strong options is fun for a lot of people, but I don't want them to outright keep it, but I don't want them to like destroy any characters in the process. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of characters that just genuinely feel weaker than others because they don't have invincible jutsus. Like, I gotta say, Itachi feels even weaker than he ever has before, because he's one of those characters I think of that doesn't have invincible jutsus. But then I look at like other characters on my team, like Sarada, for example, has invincible jutsus, and already on top of that is just a strong character in general. I just feel like it's making other characters weaker, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just don't like the fact that the way the game is being played is literally encouraging kind of annoying gameplay, and I would just like to see that get toned down, and who knows when we'll see that get toned down if they do decide to do that. But that's just an issue that I have an issue with, and you guys can let me know if you differ or agree. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Now, other issues I want to talk about is the story mode for Storm Connections, because this was advertised to be all of these Storm games put into one story mode, and I thought that was going to be pretty hype, because I'm like, yeah, like basically if you want to play all the Storm games, you could just play it in this one. You know what I'm saying? But that ended up not being the case. Now, it is sort of the case, but it's not necessarily that exactly, because instead of actual cutscenes and stuff like that, we get a bunch of slideshows. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff ain't cool, man. And you know, there's a bunch of fights that from previous Storm games that were really good and really enjoyable that didn't make it onto this game, and there was a ton of stuff that got cut from previous games that didn't make it onto this game, and instead got sidelined to slideshow stuff that they started doing in like Storm 4. I was extremely let down by the history mode in this game, because I was really anticipating something good, as yeah, all the Storm games put into one, basically how it was advertised. That sounds really cool, you know what I'm saying? Instead of buying all of the games, you can experience it all in this one game, but that ended up not being what we thought it was. It was just slideshows, no type of adventure mode whatsoever like how we saw in previous Storm games, and that was just very unfortunate. The special story mode in this game, however, I did enjoy. I thought it was cool. I thought there was a lot of talking, like a lot of talking, and not enough fights in there. There was a decent amount of fights in there, but just way more talking, like way more time in the cutscenes and stuff like that than we should have had. But other than that though, I thought that they did a decent job on that. It was enjoyable. But yeah, the history mode let me down. And the reason I point that out to talk about the history mode in general is because a lot of people buy these games to play the story mode, to experience the story of Naruto through these games. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have done that with the previous Storm games. A lot of people experience Naruto, all of Naruto, or experience some of Shippuden by playing the Storm story mode, because the Storm story mode was ahead of like the anime, for example. Not everybody was reading the manga. So yeah, and some people just really enjoyed the story mode, and yeah, I can sympathize with that, because yeah, I am a story mode enjoyer of the Storm Connections, the Storm series, because I thought that previous Storm games did a wonderful job at telling the story of Naruto, and just, you know, having a bunch of QTEs and having these fight scenes that looked really cool, and just all these scenes in general. They put a lot of heart and effort into this, the older story modes, whereas in this history mode, they didn't do so much of that, honestly. Like, yeah, it was cool to experience the story mode in better graphics and 60 FPS and stuff like that. But imagine if we had most of what was in the previous games into this and actually like fleshed out as it could have been. I look at the history mode in Storm Connections as more so what could have been more than anything, so that's why it upsets me and annoys me. And honestly, this point I should have brought up earlier in the video, but I already made a whole compilation video on this. But the disconnects, and I don't think this is ever going to change really, but I guess this has something to do with the netcode, but the constant disconnects in this game that I experienced, you guys can let me know in the comment section down below if you've experienced these types of disconnects constantly. But for me, I got a whole compilation video in which I'm just constantly disconnecting from matches, and it just happened so much to the point where, yeah, I was able to make a compilation video of it. I didn't include every single clip of it, but I included a lot of clips in which that happened from previous streams and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I don't think netcode stuff will change necessarily, but I don't know if I'm the only one experiencing this. And I would like to know if I am, or if you guys have experienced the constant disconnects as well. You guys can feel free to let me know. But with all that being said, that's pretty much what I wanted to discuss and talk about and get my mind off of, because again, I just want Storm Connections to be a playable game and a game that people enjoy, because like I said, there's a lot of things that I enjoy about this game. The gameplay is really fun, and I just enjoy learning, because this was like the first Storm game that I was legitimately like sitting down to actually learn and try and get good at and stuff like that, because I was really liking this game a lot, and I was just like, yeah, like I really want to sit down and try and get good at this. And I was getting somewhat decent for the most part, but again, these issues just slowly but surely kept bothering me and kept getting to a point where it's just like, I want to get on this game, but I can't force myself to get on a game in which these issues are very clearly bothering me, and I just don't want to force myself to do something that I don't feel like doing, because that's not fun. You know what I'm saying? I tried doing that with Dragon Ball FighterZ before, and it just didn't work out. And I'm at a point with that game in which I think that like I don't really enjoy the game as much as I used to, and I've just come to accept that. So I'm just not forcing myself to do, you know, content on that game. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want that to be the same case with Storm Connections, because like I said, I find this game to be very fun and very enjoyable, and I think if they fixed and addressed these issues, the game only gets even better. But the future holds what will come. I don't know what will come. I hope that some of these things get fixed, but you know what I'm saying, it's just one of those things where we're just gonna have to wait. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below your issues with this game, if you have any, and you know, if you agree with any of the things that I said or disagree with any of the things that I said, you know, feel free to let me know. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, because again, this is a video I should have made a long time ago, and I apologize for lacking on that, but I just wanted to discuss this because, yeah, I want Storm Connections to be a fun game, man. I want to keep playing this game because I miss having an Naruto game around. Storm 4, I missed out for its time, and obviously, you know, just became older to the point where it's just like not enough people were really playing the game anymore. Like, there were still people on the game, there was still a community, but it's not the same as having a active community as when the game first comes out, or when the game is out for its first, like, you know, 3-4 years or something like that, not like year 6 or 7 or whatever case may be. But yeah, if you guys are looking forward to some more Naruto Storm Connections content, because I do intend to continue making some Naruto Storm Connections content in the future, be sure to subscribe, as yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep playing this game. You know, I want to keep playing this game as much as possible, and hopefully these issues get addressed. But yeah, and then if you're also interested in Dragon Ball FighterZ content, whenever the rollback netcode for Dragon Ball FighterZ drops, I will be making a ton of videos on those. So be sure to tune into that and subscribe if you guys are looking forward to that. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button as well. With that being said, that's all I have, and I hope you guys take it easy.